Hello, I'm Bruce Lord from Healthy Land and Water, and today it's our pleasure to be here visiting John and Heather Brander on their Thornton property. John and Heather have been participating in our programs for a number of years, and today we're going to talk to John about some of the plans and activities he's been undertaking as part of our Drought Resilient Soils and Landscape project, which is funded by the Australian Government's Future Drought Fund. So let's go and meet John and hear about what he's been doing.
I'm John Brander. Wife and I, Heather, bought this property about 11 years ago. There was nothing on the property when we bought it. We then set about over the next 5 years clearing the property off all the weeds and lantana in particular. We got on top of that, and we then bought some cattle and decided to run a little breeding herd of a dozen or so cattle. We've only got 80 acres here, so it's very much a lifestyle property. I'm a firm believer in wanting to do things right, and so the whole experience was about gaining as much knowledge as we could to improve the land, improve the condition of the paddocks, and to have a bit of fun running some cattle. Going forward, we're always going to have droughts, so I thought, well, we've learned a lot from Healthy Land and Water workshops, so let's try and work on a couple of pastures. So this area also was covered fairly well with roads and lucerne. So this legume here that's come up is phasey bean. This one's come up by itself. It's still quite a good feed for the cattle. You can see they've been having a bit of a chew on it.
And being a shrubby legume, it's growing well as a companion, being able to get up in the canopy of these big strong tussock grasses.
Yeah, and I think that's been a problem with the lucerne. It's
been shaded out.
It's really struggled to compete with the matting that's
particularly
that's
with this
happened here.
season having such a wonderful season and so much growth.
Yeah, that's right. We attended a workshop with Healthy Land and Water down at Mount Mort, and at that workshop the property owner had invested quite heavily in a no-till seeder, and it inspired me to look for maybe a better way of which I could attack our pastures here. So a good friend of mine, Craig, was kind enough to give me an old sprung tine ripper. I found some big funnels that's super cheap, did a bit of plumbing work and a bit of welding, put some wheels on it so we could govern the depth of the rip, and added seed boxes that work quite well with just vibration coming from the spun rippers. But you look at the density of it at ground level.
Just how much pasture there is.
It's quite a lot different to the previous method.
Yep.
So when I was just broadcasting seed,
Yep.
you had bare patches.
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas this is thickly
it's just dense,
matted.
100% cover.
Yeah.
And plenty of organic matter there.
Well, that's the other advantage too, because what we'll do once the cattle have moved out of here, we'll slash it.
You'll slash that down.
And that'll put a lot of
break it up, and hopefully that'll get incorporated a bit quicker and help build some soil.
So with the old method, it was about 20 kgs over this area. With the new method, that's reduced down to about 8 or 9 kilos of seed over the same sort of area. So there's a huge saving in seed costs, but I think also the germination rate is better with the seed slightly buried under the ground. So the seed shouldn't be buried any more than a few mil, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So here's an example of some Sriracha that's struck. So there's quite a bit of that around here.
Another good companion for your strong tussock grasses that it's able to twine up through there. So,
The whole focus here is controlling weeds, improving the land quality, and being self-sustaining. So if we can grow our own fodder, feed our own cattle without bringing other cattle onto property without bringing other fodder onto the property and controlling the weeds, then we'd be pretty happy with that outcome.